to be done.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jay Patel, and today we'll be talking about architecture. Let's start off with the basics of architecture. Architecture involves a lot of geometry. Now, I'm pretty sure when you were in middle school, you might have drawn out a few geometry shapes, maybe even a cube or two. Well, if you're interested in architecture and you play a lot of Minecraft like me, you would like geometry and architecture. Architecture is a very complex field involving electrical, sewage, and frame systems. Electrical meaning the lights that your dad keeps on in this house. Sewage meaning the yucky stuff that you poop out after eating those tacos at dinner. And frame systems meaning the wood that supports the walls around you. The word architecture originates from the Greek word architekton, meaning chief builder. Architecture is a developing field in the sense that there are a lot of architectural concepts. Now, I have two very good looking architectural concepts right here. As you can see, there is one architectural concept that I still need to find a name of, but I'm pretty sure it will be located in Germany. And right here, we can see that the Mile High Tower, that was a concept in Japan, and we can see the Jeddah Tower, which is also another concept in Dubai. The tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa. Architecture also doesn't always have to be normal, like your grandpa when he's watching YouTube, like, oh ho ho, dad jokes, oh ho ho, this and that. Yeah, well, that's normal. It can be extraordinary. I mean, you can possibly create a house that looks upside down and still functions as a real house. Well, it can be extraordinary, like these three buildings I see here. Well, if you want to become an architect, you want to first earn a degree, which would be like a Bachelor of Architecture, which would be known as BArch, typically a 5-year program, or like a pre professional degree followed by a Master of Architecture, which would also be known as MArch. Number two, complete an internship. Gain practical experience through an internship under the Architectural Experience Program, also known as AXP. Don't know why they did not put E instead of X, but who cares? Which is also essential for hands on learning about architecture. Next would be to obtain licensure to build architects. It's like spraying graffiti on walls. You don't have the license to spray graffiti. Unless you do, you can do that, probably. But in here, you can't build a building out of nowhere. You need a license. So, you will want to pass the architect registration examination, also known as R, to become a licensed architect. Licensure requirements may vary by location. For example, like, I don't know, let's say we're in Oregon. I don't know, you might need to take like 2 or 3 exams. Now, let's say we're in Ontario, Canada. You might not need an exam, you just need like 2 or 3 questions and have like a small test. Then you could obtain your license. Number four, you would want to consider your further education. Again, you can optionally, I said optionally, quota quota, you can optionally pursue a master's degree for specialization in areas like urban design, which would include a lot of greenery, or sustainable architecture, which would not use as many life draining resources for Earth. Number five would be to develop skills and build a portfolio. Typically, when I am like, I don't know, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, I'm not an art person, so I really need to work on my art. But developing skills and building a portfolio would be like to build some, like, I don't know, build some buildings and like make a name for yourself, and then you can start on with more and more buildings to cultivate essential skills in design and communication, and to create a portfolio showcasing your work. Number six would be to maintain your licensure. completing continuing education to keep your license active and stay updated with industry trends. Now, the next slide I'm about to show you has some art designs. Number one, okay, whatever. What are some forms of architecture? Number one would be to be classical architecture. It's usually inspired by ancient Greek and Roman designs, as you can see where my mouse is, featuring columns, symmetry, and ornate details like in temples and government buildings. Ever seen the Parthenon? Or like, I don't know, the some sort of Greek pillar? Yeah, well, that's classical architecture. Gothic architecture would be like known for pointed arches, raised vaults, and fine buttresses, often seen in medieval cathedrals like Notre Dame in Canada. Gothic, ever seen that one like boy or girl that acts like they dress black, they have black shoes, they have black everything? Well, I'm pretty sure they might be going to one of these Gothic architecture buildings. I don't know where they got that inspiration from, but let's move on. Number three, Baroque architecture. This is actually really similar to the Parliament and one of the general buildings in India. Well, Baroque architecture is characterized by grandeur, dramatic use of light, and elaborate ornamentation, popular in 17th century Europe. Spot a wall, please. Number four, Art Deco. Features geometric patterns, bold colors, and sleek lines, often seen in 1920 30 buildings like Miami South Beach. Well, this is not the Miami South Beach, but it looks like much hotels around this area and probably in New York City. This is actually, I think, what the Empire State Building, Art Deco. It was the style for the Empire State Building. Five, modern architecture. Obviously, we will all want to live in a home like this one, but like focuses on simplicity, functionality, and the use of modern art materials like steel and glass seen in skyscrapers. Wouldn't that feel cold? You just live in there. You probably don't have any like heater. I know. I don't want to be a modern architecture. Postmodern architecture. It combines modern design with playful, eclectic elements and historical references emerging in the late 20th century. Well, look at this. This is very postmodern. Modern. It looks like a house, and then the house mutated, and it looks very unique. The last one would be Renaissance architecture. It revives classical elements with symmetry, proportion, and domes, as seen in structures like St. Peter's Basilica. Well, this is not St. Peter's Basilica, but it has the classic Renaissance architecture. I want to be an architect. Can I be one with a 2.8 GPA? Well, guess what? It's your day. Yes, it is possible to become an architect with a 2.8 GPA, which would be like, I don't know, all B's, like 1C. But there are several factors to consider that can influence your chances of admission to architecture programs, like we talked on the third slide, and your overall success in the field. GPA considerations. Many competitive architectural schools typically look for GPAs above 3.5, which is woohoo! You really are excelling at your classes, but like some programs may accept students with GPAs as low as 2.8, which that is not a college I would want to go to because like 2.8, I don't want to study with them, especially if they demonstrate strong potential in other areas. Your GPA is just one part of your application again. Schools often consider your portfolio, letters of recommendation, and personal statements as well. Well, guess what? If you do any extracurricular, it might be increase your chances to become an architect. Importance of a strong portfolio. A strong portfolio showcasing your design skills, creativity, and passion for architecture can significantly enhance your application. This is often more critical than GPA alone, especially for schools that prioritize design aptitude. If you can demonstrate your skills through projects, drawings, or relevant experiences, it can help offset a lower GPA. So, suppose you are really skilled at some extracurricular, it might help boost your GPA instead of like getting like rejected from the school. Additional factors would be to have relevant experience. Would be gaining experience through internships, volunteer work, or related jobs that can also strengthen your application. This shows your commitment to the field and help build your skills. Standardized tests. While not always required, good scores on standardized tests like the SAT, which is kind of, I feel like it's a pain because I don't know why. Okay, whatever. Like the SAT can bolster your application if your GPA is lower than average. Well, that's the end of this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Jay signing out. Bye!